let me first say, before I get into that I want to thank our sponsors who made this possible. Global Underwater Explorers, Dive Right, the original DIR people, deeperblue.com, and Fourth Element, who's made these wonderful, I don't know if you can see my t-shirt, but here, look at the back. I love it when you talk tech to me. And there are some t-shirts over there on the table. So anyway, so really the story of aquaCORPS is the story of our community. I think we have a really remarkable, amazing group of people and community, and many of you have been here through this whole 30 years and watched it grow. For me, right now, I think, that was an inflection point in diving, an important one. But I think right now we are at another inflection point in diving. Between the new science, there's a new group that's moving on the mix, and that's the free divers. Can you believe that? So free divers are now breathing up mix on the surface. We have a lot of new technology. I'm very excited about the digital data collection we have. I think this is going to take it to a whole nother level. And so I'm excited about the future. I think that the next 30 years is going to be at least exciting as the last 30 years, and probably even more so. And what seems to me is that, the underwater world is under siege right now. And I think it behooves all of us to help protect it. We are a small community. If you take all divers everywhere, we're a tiny group of humans, but we are the ones that go underwater. So I think it's really important for all of us. If we don't help protect what we have, no one else is going to do it. And so I think it behooves all of us to work together. I know diving has a history of divisiveness and being down on each other and everything else, but I think in this new era, we need to move to really celebrate each other, support each other. All the different groups within our tribe, the water tribe, have great ideas, are doing cool stuff, and so I really think we need to work together. As a community. I'm gonna tell you one story. This is from Randy Thornton. Randy, are you guys out there? Anywhere, Randy? It was from Bernaire Tech. And so his talk was called Make Technical Diving Great Again. It was a really good talk. And so he told the story of a corn farmer from Iowa. And this farmer, each year, he would win the award for the best seed corn in the land. And so a reporter was going to do a story on him, and he learned that actually at the end of each award, this guy would give away his seeds to his neighbors, and the reporter was like, wow, what's with that? I don't understand. They're your competitors. And the farmer said, you don't understand. The wind blows across these fields. So if there's inferior seed corn out there and the wind blows it and it blows over my field is degenerates. So I give seed out so that we all can do better. So, and I think that's a great message for diving, for our beloved community. So anyway, I'm not going to talk long, but I'd like to ask a few people to say a few words. Yes, hand me that. Hand me what he's got. I should say. Journal of Diving History. I don't know if you guys are history buffs, but you should all be members of Historical Diving Society. This particular issue has one of my stories, but it's on the history of technical diving. And I'll be talking about that tomorrow at 3 o'clock. It's on the invite cards, and I hope you'll come over. And I'm going to be joined by some of my GUE brothers, and they're going to talk about some of their projects as well and what's going on. So these are over there at the table. So without further ado, I'd like to ask a couple people to say a few words. Lamar, would you like to say something? About what? It's up to you.
Lamar, just over that way.
Hello, everybody. I've had the pleasure,
just a bit closer,
if you want to call it that, to know Mike Menduno since all this started in 1990. We've been involved with the magazine. We were one of his core sponsors and promised to support him regardless of what happened with the magazine, and we did till its end. So Mike's done a lot to bring everything in the open for for technical diving, and I'd like to see it continue on like that. And I'm glad to see he's back doing this again. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Mike, that one.
Jared, would you like to? Yep.
All right, hey gang, nice to see everyone here. So many familiar faces. It was exciting for me to see Evelyn Dudas, and she's been in the industry for many, many years. Mike's talk about the sort of getting along better in the community resonated well with me, because I know many of you I'm standing next to and talking to Drew Richardson, who I hadn't seen in a little while, from Patty, and of course Lamar and Leanne, who I've known forever. And so I think a lot of times we get accused of some divisiveness, but it's never been our intent. We have certainly our own view, and I respect everybody's view on certain things and encourage everybody to move forward in a cordial and professional manner. And that's one of the things I think that Mike really helped to create in the early years. We forget quickly that a lot of the electronic platforms that we have today make information widely accessible and easy to get. But back when we were trying to do this stuff in the late 80s and 90s, there really wasn't a good platform. So kudos to Mike for his efforts to bring that platform forward. I think those years of aquaCORPS provided a real pivotal move for the organization of technical diving. It brought many of us together, it allowed us a platform to speak and refine our ideas. And whether we agree or not on any particular idea, we gain a lot by communicating with one another and learning from one another, as we have for many years now. So happy anniversary to Mike. Congratulations to you for your great contribution to technical diving. Thanks very much.
Thanks. So next I would like to ask my friend Drew Richardson to come up. I should say Patty has been a long-time supporter of my work in aquaCORPS. They were a sponsor of the original tech conference and around from the beginning. And in fact, I know I'm credited with coining the term technical diving, but it was Drew Richardson and his article, Technical Diving, Does Patty Have Its Head in the Sand, in the fall of 1991 that cemented the term. So I owe a lot to this guy. Drew?
I think I'm old.
I want to stand the chair.
Thanks, Michael. I'm not going to stand in the chair because I'm not going to fall off. We're just wondering when you were. Anyway, thanks for the kind words. I do think we owe him a debt of gratitude to kind of pull everybody together. The important part about this space is exploration drives everything. It drives innovation. It creates purpose. A lot of the manufacturing, all of that is pushed. It's pushed into the recreational side as well in terms of hardware and software and exploring the planet. So it needed a figurehead and needs somebody to pull it together, and you and your team have always done that. And when you think back on those early panels, a lot of people aren't around anymore. So I think much respect for nodding the head. But we're pleased and looking forward. You mentioned the environment. Environment's our workplace and our playground. It needs looking after. There's a common thread here. We're talking about torch bearing for that, so thanks for mentioning that too. Pleasure to keep going with you. I don't know where all those old pictures came from, but they're kind of fun, and just thanks for the nostalgia. So anyway, appreciate it. Congratulations to everybody still being here and pushing forward.
Woo. Is Paul or Jim from Fourth Element here? No. Stephen? Mr. Whelan? See here? Stephen? Stephen?
Stephen! Whalen!
Whalen!
Did you word these guys up at all?
Okay, listen guys and girls, thank you for coming. This is amazing, and in celebration of Michael, really, in 30 years, what an accomplishment. When he approached me probably a month ago and said, what do you think we could do? I was saying, people like free drinks, right? Let's get some free drinks, put on a booth, put up a display, sell some t-shirts, and let's just celebrate. And I think, really grateful. It's a great crowd. Thank you so much for coming, and enjoy yourself. Thanks.
Mike.
Is Miss Heinrich, Jill? Are you in the room? She was. Jill? Jill. I should say we are digitizing issues of aquaCORPS. This card right here is the address and a QR code to download the mix issue.
We have, not we are, it's done.
We have. But I'm going to be over the course of the next year, we're going to be digitizing all the issues, but we're starting with the mix issue, so grab a card, download a copy.
aquaCORPS.online.
aquaCORPS.online. So, yeah. Is there anything else? I think so. Thank you again for coming. It really touches me. I mean, it's kind of amazing that this was 30 years ago and I went out of business 24 years ago, and we're here partying. So thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, I want to say one thing. The punch, Dr. Bill's special mix. I just want to give a shout out to Dr. Bill Hamilton, who really gave the early tech community, who was viewed as the wild and crazies by the recreational industry, some credibility. We used to call trimix diving, of course, back in the day it was called special mix. You got some special mix and you got some of Dr. Bill's special mix tables. So we wanted to give him a shout out. He passed in 2011, and I know Dan has a grant under his name, which is very cool. So thank you all for coming. Safe diving, and let's make the next 30 years as fun as the last. Thank you.